It's not playing music up there.
Hey, I'm Eva. Could you talk a little bit about what it's like growing up in the South and what kinds of experiences you had there?
Well, several different kinds of experiences, I guess. It's great growing up in the country and like being really free to explore and get muddy and all of that. And so I really loved that. The South, has this kind of like friendly racism thing that happens. And like being Jewish is just like, for some folks, they'd never met a Jew before, or they didn't know how to handle it, or they'd be like, Jesus was Jew, you know that? Or some people didn't know that, or like wouldn't accept that Jesus actually was a Jew, like they didn't believe it. Or like there's like this like white supremacist kind of rhetoric that Jesus was a Judean, but not actually a Jew, so like they don't have to respect Jews, and Jews are evil anyway. So, but there's also like this cultural difference, like, I am Southern, but I'm also like this kind of like loud, very passionate, very straightforward kind of person, which doesn't really jibe with Southern culture sometimes. And my friends who love me, love me, they kind of just call me the loud Jew. Like, I'm that loud Jew lady, and...
What you said before that made me want to make this video was how you turned it affectionate
racism. Like, they don't hate me or dislike me or want to kill me or lynch me or whatever. They love me to death, but they're still like bigoted and racist.
Right, so they don't ever just like accept you as an authentic person,
right,
separated from their cultural context of you.
No, it's always Eva the Jew. Always. And then, or I'm too Jewish. Like, I hear a lot, I'm too Jewish. I was wondering if you could be too white or too black or too Jewish.
And that's like you're too knowledgeable about your...
I guess I like stand out, and that's not okay. Like, it's like...
Okay, can I share with you an anti-Semitic episode I had? I got a Star of David necklace. Wear it. This friend who I didn't know was a closet anti-Semite said, well, I knew you were really intelligent, and I thought maybe you had ADHD, but now that I know you're Jewish, it all makes sense. And I was just like, oh boy, like, where do I begin? And then he was actually my roommate, and he moved out because the Star of David was too powerful for him to be my roommate.
Right. I think that there's like this really like, it's almost like this primal kind of racism, especially with white Europeans against Jews. Like, it's been 1,000 years. White Europeans hate us, and they might not, like, rationally, like, they might not, like, want to, or, they know it's wrong, but it's such, like, a part of their cultural paradigm that maybe there's not even a consciousness about it.
Right. Do you think that, like, anti-Semitism in, say, like, Dershowitz's era in Harvard, where he found all this institutionalized academic racism, right, do you think that is now migrated towards Islamic people?
I don't think it's migrated towards Islamic people. I think it's always been there for Islamic people. I think that, we do kind of make jokes that, like, now it's the Muslims' turn. They're getting what we've been getting all this time. But, the anti-Semitism is there whether you're Muslim or Jewish.
Right. And it's just more generalized in a way.
I think that what we dealt with, like, during the McCarthy era, or et cetera, where we were like blacklisted and arrested a lot. I think that's what a lot of people who follow the Muslim faith are dealing with now. So
what do you think about like hate crimes, the incidence of hate crimes, and the awareness that such a thing exists and that hate speech can lead to hate crimes?
I have this conversation with people a lot. One of my best friends is an NLG lawyer, and he actually defended neo-Nazis. And he's like an organizer who works with anti-fascists and like in his organizing life, like, hates racists. He's gay and gets it because he's been marginalized himself, and he's from like West Tennessee or whatever. But like he's like so like he's so much in the cult of like the First Amendment,
right?
That he would never want to stop anyone's speech. I personally feel that hate speech leads to hate action, and I feel like it should not be protected under the First Amendment. Now, saying like I hate that guy over there, you know, I shouldn't get arrested for that or whatever. But like, you know, saying that I hate gay people, and then maybe even saying some like really kind of detrimental things about them, and then also maybe saying that I want to do them harm. I don't think that should be protected.
Yeah, and then like say like the campaign that's going on with Facebook now is that it turns out a lot of like neo-Nazi pages or pages that are hateful to women are being protected, even to the point of encouraging people to do violence to people. And I think at that point, to me, like it's a bit of a matter of awareness and education to get people to realize that there's a direct line between their words and their actions.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I've been like kicked off of Facebook, and every activist I know has been kicked off of Facebook like for a day or two. Like every single like left-wing activist I know. So like it's really interesting that like rape culture is protected, racism is protected, you know, but like here we are struggling to create a world that's okay for everybody, and we're the ones being targeted. So so what we really are seeing, and we just have to be honest about that, is that like, you know, this kind of like culture of misanthropy is accepted,
right?
And you know, and anything to keep us divided is acceptable.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, thank you, Eva. It's a beautiful day out here.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. And there's the rainbow.
Yeah.
Thank you.